Hello everyone, welcome back to our math channel online, free public education. I would like to remind you sharing and support our math channel online from YouTube, as well as visit mymathteaching.ca, mymathteaching.ca on the board I wrote. That is the website. I hope that our online mathematics teachable school of Canada will be shared and will be shared popularly. And I have created on the senior high school student courses. The reason because I found when I was in university, we usually have a culture shock from high school to university because the speed of learning at high school is very relaxed, very simple, very fast, and very short. We didn't cover a lot of curriculum. So there are a lot of missing knowledge there. And then we transfer to the university with 5 courses at the same time. And all of the course with the lengthy and the loss of information and time management is our big concern for success, academic success. So I would like to provide on my seniors course for senior students so that I can provide a smooth transition from high school to university or college for all of you. So please share, and you never know, there are some of your friends will find our course are extremely beneficial because everything is based on the same curriculum, the core components of mathematics foundation. You learn the same logarithmic function in Algebra 2, as well as advanced function, as well as PreCalculus, Math 12. You learn the same combinatoric and permutation fundamental counting principle on the advanced function in Ontario curriculum. So math is just one universal language. Of course, each question might be different. One might be harder than the other, but the main core concept are the same. If you already absorbed it, you will find it very much the same. Each question, the same pattern. Of course, not the same question, but the same pattern. And you will be able to practice and to find out about the pattern of language of math. So if you don't understand the course in your school, you missing your school homework or whatever, and you don't get it, if you register to our online math courses, will help you to update and improve what you learn, improve your score in the classroom. And if you want to register the full course to get the certificate, it's up to you. But you can take 1 chapter, 2 chapter from there and learn from it. And our online is free. Just require a very small minimum registration, which is nothing, right? So I hope that you will share our online course to your friends, to your parents, to everyone you know. Thank you. And now let me get into our question. I will show you how to solve the trigonometric equation in this video. Follow up with the first video, a short and simple question. Now we get into a more complicated question, but the topic still solving trigonometric equation. So let me show you the first question. And I just found that the Zoom technology is improving a lot. And I hope that you will have a clear picture on our video a lot better than before. Thanks for advanced technology improvement every single day to serve all of us. So let me show you how to do the first question. So in the first question, it says factor each expression. So you learn already how to factor in Math 10 and Math 11, except that now we will apply the factor technique into our trigonometric expressions. So how do we factor the first one? Of course, we pull out the common factor, right? So factor means you break into the two brackets, right? And each number combined, multiply, you get back to the original. So this is factor in elementary, the same like factor in algebra. We're going to break it down into bracket like that. And when we multiply them, we get back the same. So that's the idea of factor. So now, the common factor in this expression is cos. And we're going to pull out the least power, which is power 1. Inside, we open the bracket and make another cos x. So when we combine, we got cos x, cos square x. And minus, we put down the minus sign. And it got to be number 1 in here because cos x times 1 is just the same like cos x. And that's it. And that's how you factor. So these are the two brackets. You break it down and you multiply back, you get the same expression. Let's go to the question B here. How we're going to factor question B? We have cos square x minus sine square x. Now, let me remind you about the algebra expression a square minus b square equals a plus b times a minus b. And we call this is a factor of differences square. So anytime we see a square minus b square, and the whole thing here stands for a square, the whole thing here stands for b square. Now the sign between them have to be minus, right? If you have plus sign, don't bother because that won't work, right? Got to be the negative sign. So follow this formula. We're going to factor out this. Square is 4, then you take the square root of 4 is 2, right? Because when we put in the bracket, we have a to the power 1 only. So we have to take square root of our expression, which is 2. Instead of cos square, now it's just cos x. And that our a, we put down the plus sign, and our b is just sine x. And that is the first bracket. The second bracket will be 2 cos x again. And instead of plus sign, now it's minus sign. Minus sine x. And close the bracket. So that's how we factor these two expressions. This algebra expression. So we're done. Now let me go to the question here, right? So the third question, this is in terms of the quadratic expression. So the way I factor the quadratic, I'm going to break this, become 2 times 1. So I break this number, become 2 times 1. And I'm going to break the last number, become 3 times 2. So now I'm going to do the side word. I'm going to put the 2 times 1 here first in one row and 3 times 2 in another row. So now I can do cross multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 2 is 2. If I add these two numbers, and I can get back to the middle number 7, then my factor is okay. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out because 2 add 6 is 8 instead of 7, and 6 minus 2 is 4 instead of 7. So it means I might have to change the position. In this case, if I change the 3 here, and I change the 2 in here. to see if it worked this time. So I'm going to say 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 2 is 4. Now 3 add 4 is give me 7. So when I switch the position of this number, I get it okay. So now I'm going to assign the correct side. Now they both negative so that you can get negative 3 and negative 4 become negative 7, become the midterm. So it means this factor is working. So I'm going to copy the correct sign up here. They both have to be minus. And I'm going to break them down into 2 brackets, times together. And I'm going to ignore this number down here just for testing. Now my factor, the first circle will go to the first bracket. The second circle will go second bracket. So I will have number 2 here. And of course, the expression instead of x now is cos x. That's all it is. So 2 cos x minus, because this has to be correct sign, minus 3 and just minus 3, right? Because the first term is cos square. So 2 cos x minus 3. The second bracket will be 1 cos x and minus, the sign is minus, and the number is number 2. So when I multiply these 2 brackets, I will get back the same, which is 2 times cos x is 2 cos square x. 2 times minus 2 is minus 4 cos x. And minus 3 cos x. And minus 3 times minus 2 is plus 6. So adding a line term, I will have minus 7 cos x and plus 6, which is correct. The same expression like this one here. So that's the way I show you how to factor it, which is very easy and fast and short because it just the manipulating, right? It's just like the manual, like how we use a manual, and we do that. Now, your teacher might teach you in a different way, but if you get used to with the way your teacher show you, then just use the factor as your teacher. But if you want to learn new strategy like this, it's up to you. And I found this one is easy, right? I don't know, it's my bias, right? I think it's very easy. And what you do is just doing manually without any thinking. You just have to know how the way you break it down, right? So I break down the first term, 2 times 1, second, 3 times 2. I put them in the row, make sure you do exactly because sometimes you change the position, it won't work, right? So 2 times 1, go first, then 3 times 2, go to second row, do cross multiply, test if these 2 numbers adding give you the correct middle term, and assign the correct size for this number, right? And these sign, correct size, become the sign in the bracket when you put it in, right? So after you test it, and it's okay, you know this factor is perfect. So you're going to cross this one, circle the left, circle the right circle. Make sure this circle go to the first bracket, the circle go to second. And just follow the number, right? 2, know that this is cos x expression, right? And 3 is just the number because when you combine the last term, you get just the number, right? So that's it. Everything is just like quadratic factor, right? And if you learn quadratic factor already, you should be able to recognize it. So now let me go to number 2. I will show you how we solve the equation. So I have 2 cos square x minus 5 cos x minus 3. What I'm going to do is factor this out, become 2 times 1, and this is 3 times 1. And I'm going to put in the side word here, see 2 times 1 and 3 times 1. I do cross multiply, 2 times 1 is 2, 1 times 2 is 3. I add these two numbers. If I get back to 5, then I'm okay. We'll assign the correct sign minus 3 and minus 2. So I circle this. I'm going to break this into 2 brackets to factor it. And of course, the first number, 2 go in here, and cos x minus 3 go in here from the first circle, and this is cos x, 1 cos x minus 1. So I know that I factor correct, so I don't have to check. So I'm going to erase this one so that we can see it easily. And remember, this is two-side equation equals 0. Now I'm going to say 2 cos x minus 3 equals 0. I set one bracket equals 0 at the time I solve for it. So 2 cos x equals 3, and cos x equals 3 over 2. That's from the first bracket, which is equal 1.5. The second bracket, cos x minus 1 equals 0, I move it over, cos x equals 1. So now we're going to solve for x, because this time they asked for to solve the angle, right? So I'm going to, I don't like these pop up all the time. On the advertisement keep popping up on my computer. I don't know how to get rid of it. Okay. So now 2 cos x equal 1.5. Now we know that minus 1 less than equal cos or sine, right? Less than equal 1. There are no such thing of 1.5 ratio like that. So it means for this is 1.5, so no solution. So from here, we conclude that no solution. Now, for cos x equal 1, we have the angle here is minus 1 and 0. This is 1 and 0. And this is cos, and this is sine. So up here is 0 and minus 1. Sorry, positive 1. Down here, 0 and minus 1. So when cos x equal 1, we look at this angle, right? Because cos first and then sine. So when cos x equal 1, the angle x equal 2 pi. And 0 radian and 2 pi. That's the answer for x. This one, no solution. Now, I'm going to go to the third question. So, sine x cos x equals sine square x. I'm going to move this one over to the left. So, I will have sine x cos x minus sine square x equals 0, right? So now I'm going to factor out the common factor, which is sine x. So I will have sine x times with cos x from the first term minus another sine x and equals 0. So set these two brackets equal 0, I have the first bracket sine x equals 0. And if the sine x equals 0, the angle x here is pi, and here is 2 pi and 0 when the sine x equals 0. So I will say x will be equal 0 and 2 pi and pi and 2 pi, pi and 2 pi. So that's the three solutions for the first bracket, right? Now for this second bracket, I'm going to move this over, and therefore cos x will be equal to sine x. Now, what angle give us cos x equal sine x? This is pencil triangle 45 degrees, right? When sine x equal cos x, and that will give us the angle pi over 4. So we will have the angle pi over 4 as the solution, because that's the only angle allow for cos x equal sine x. Now let me draw in here. So that will be pi over 4, this angle, right? This is pi over 2, 90 degrees. If I have each of this is pi over 4. So this will be this angle, pi over 4. When the cos x equals sine x. We also have another cos x here is positive, but sine x is negative. So yeah, that's the only solution. So our answer will be x equal pi over 4. Now, if I drag this down this way, let's see. We have -1 and -1 here. And square root 2 here. So another angle with the same ratio down this way, you see pi over 4, right? Will be equal when sine and cos will be equal as well. So this angle in standard position will be all the way from here to this terminal M. And this terminal M means the x will be equal pi, right? Up to pi at pi over 4. So that will be equal 4 at once, 5 pi over 4. When you do common denominator, right? So x will be equal 5 pi over 4. And this one, so that's one answer. And x also equal pi over 4 is another answer. So we have two answers for this one. So all of this is our answer. X equals 0, pi, 2 pi, pi over 4, and 5 pi over 4. When we solve this trigonometric equation. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching, and bye for now. Stay tuned for our next video for the trigonometric simplify the equation. And don't forget to register to my online math courses, Teachable School of Canada, right? And visit my mathteaching.ca. Bye for now.